What's up guys, Xraypc here, and we're back with another video for Marathon. This one is going to be explaining the Marathon lore, Durandal, the lore you need before Bungie's new Marathon. The game was a single player game beforehand, back in the ye old days, Bungie's first ever game when I was pretty much like a 2-year-old. So let's look at it. I never actually ever looked into the Marathon lore. Bungie lore is usually something that I've always been super interested in.
If you are looking for fellow
obviously
runners,
Halo was made as a book before, so they just took the book. But Marathon is like their own baby, and then obviously Destiny is like their own baby. So let me make sure he's not crazy overpoweringly loud.
First link in the description down below. Go to the Marathon running
Also,
section.
this is Myelin
Marathon,
Games.
and we'll have a bunch of game rooms.
Marathon 2 Durandal
explain
the lore you need before Bungie's new Marathon.
Runners. Before we start this video, we have to talk about this.
Okay.
Say this word in your head.
Durandal.
Did you say Durandal? Like Randall? Like Randall the Vandal?
I'm pretty sure it's Durandal.
Well, that's how I said it in my last video, and it's wrong. I got some not very nice feedback. I'm always open to feedback, but if you're going to be a dick about it, I'm going to fight back. Anyway,
I respect that.
Feedback about how I said it, Durandal, in the last video. And this ended up being a massive rabbit hole that I spent like over an hour talking about on stream. Actually, Bungie themselves pronounce it Durandal in their Marathon Forge tutorial video.
Yeah, Durandal.
That had been uploaded to YouTube.
I don't mean like I just looked at the word and it just sounded in my head like that.
Map editor and has been used in various forms to create maps for Marathon, Marathon 2 Durandal, and now Marathon Infinity. The version of Forge
Vindication, but here's the thing though. If you start researching, there's all these other posts too that sometimes at Bungie they say Durandal, or Durandal, and other times some old timers, who we must respect more, pronounce it Durandal.
Durandal.
I think Durandal is closer to the original naming and why it was named. If you search for the Q&A from the actual author, Greg Kirk.
This is a word that already kind of exists in a lot of other stories and things like that, and it's Durandal. Or it's Durandal. It's like how people pronounce it. So I've never heard Durandal in my life. Like Durandal. I mean, I guess you could just, if it's your thing that you're making, I guess, even if it's a name, you're changing it. You can change the name in any other way.
Durandal because it also comes from the A had come into its into it as an anglicization of the word, and that the translator of the book had just kept the E to use the original spelling. When we stuck the text from the Song of Roland, it seemed like it would have just looked like a spelling mistake, right? And then there's a picture of this bomb.
Yeah, the bomb. Okay, so like I was like, I know this exists.
Here it is, runway bomb.
There you go.
There it is, the blue 107.
Durandal bomb.
Durandal. Now, interestingly, you can find some video footage of this on
Crazy
YouTube
bomb
as well, with their pronunciation of how the bomb is set.
English is a crazy language.
Durandal. The Durandal bomb.
Hey, English is a crazy language.
On top of all this, a week on a video and I say a character's name.
Okay, I was like,
it triggers me, and it also
Mikey's still
triggers
stuck
you
on
when
that.
I say to be important on the screen are spellings of characters and places and things.
All right, there you go. I skipped it for you guys because I didn't want to have this in
fully
there.
operational aboard the Marathon with yourself, Mr. Security Guard. The Tau Sete colony has survived with the assistance of the 9 Molyneux Mark IV cyborgs, and
He must have got a
Durandal
lot of comments,
has
man. He was
escaped
stuck on that for a while.
aboard a ship with the recently freed Svit. He is looking for some new weapon or destructive knowledge on the homeworld of the Swit, the Lahawan.
Okay, these names.
I've been told to pronounce this.
I'm not remembering any of these names. Right? Let me move myself. I just realized I'm in front of the guy. Put myself down here. I'm not remembering any of these names. Right? So.
Lahawan with the H actually pronounced. I've heard others just say Lowan. Anyway, as with Marathon 1, you play as the nameless Marathon security officer, suspected to be the 10th Molyneux Mark IV cyborg. You awake confused in Marathon 2 because you expected to wake up on Tau Ceti 4 being hailed a hero of the colony because you saved everyone, but instead you awake in a completely different system, once again on an alien ship peering out of a spaceport. Durandal has kidnapped you again to help out. You're in the galactic core, thousands of light years away from Tau Ceti, and 17 years have passed since the events of Marathon 1, of which you've been in cryosleep. Throughout the game, Durandal drip feeds us bits of information about what happened while we were in cryo. And to our shock, 3 months after we left Tau Ceti, the Four returned to the colony.
The shotgun gameplay looks really good in this game. It reminds me of Destiny, which is my favorite shotgun gameplay.
At this stage. Similar to Marathon 1, Durandal needs you to fight again. Durandal beams you down to the Sphit homeworld.
Okay, so it's pretty much the speaker in Destiny, which probably is where they got the inspiration. They looked at this one and were like, how do we like what do we use as the basis for the reasoning of why all these things can happen? Oh, we had the Durandal. Okay, why don't we just make the speaker? So this is pretty much like this big giant atmosphere planet size thing. Just up in there, and it's like the god of this universe. So that's pretty much, I guess, what the Durandal is, except not really like
Lahawan,
a god, but...
which is littered with Four. It's told to us in Marathon 1 that Durandal wanted to go to the homeworld to look for some ancient weapon, some tool, some knowledge to fight the Four. Remember, Durandal is not the most reliable character, and while he continues to say, hey, we need to do this to help the Sphit, it's likely not his only goal. Remembering his big achievement, the thing he wants to achieve is to try and escape the closure of the universe. Escape will make me God. The Sphit homeworld was first ravaged by the Four 1,000 years ago when they first enslaved
let me put
the
this
Sphit.
down. There you go.
And although previously abandoned, has now become a hot spot of interest. The reason why the Four have returned to the conquered planet is because Tycho, one of the other previous Marathon AIs, told them of Durandal's interest in the planet. Although this is incredibly vague, Durandal just says Tycho must have told him. So, it is confirmed that Tycho was reanimated by the Four because we kind of suspected this in Marathon 1 but didn't know for sure. It is now confirmed, and he is now working with the Four in opposition of Durandal. And this is why we see the Four's presence on this previously conquered homeworld of the Sphit. The lore is pretty vague here, as the Four don't exactly know what Durandal is after. It just seems like they know this planet is of interest to him, and Durandal will eventually show up. So they have just set up a garrison on the planet waiting for our arrival. And in fact, the Four had been waiting for Durandal for 15 years. So 2 years after Marathon 1, the Four showed up at the Sphit home planet, just hanging around, just waiting for Durandal to arrive. Durandal's whole reason for returning to the
I'm still not going to understand any of these names, I feel like, for a while. If I really get into the game, maybe.
Clan that escaped slavery,
like what?
That had already split from the other clans.
I feel like they use like maybe Russian or something to make these names.
And so they have had over 1,000 years to grow
so like clan
and
wars,
develop. And in order to find them, there must be records somewhere on the home planet. So the basic premise is to fight off the Four while we comb through the history of the Sphit.
I really hope the PvE gets more diverse in a planet or area we go to, because there's like all these different alien things that he's just talking about, the different clans and this and that. Right now it's literally just robots and some bug aliens I've seen. I hope it doesn't just stay robots. That would be the most boring thing in the planet. All Arc Raiders is doing is like, now there's a drone that shoots fire at you. Oh my goodness. But like this game could get crazy with the PvE. Kind of on the same level as, oh my goodness, I can't remember. I have it on the channel. Hold on. You're going to look at my Digimon thing right there. I have to go to all my super old videos. It's on the channel here somewhere. Hold on. super old. It's like one of my now first videos because there you go. The cycle. Okay. It's gonna maybe I just want it to be like this game, right? And I'm just gonna skip through this one. I ended up playing with one of the main devs on here, which was pretty cool. Yeah, see how like those crazy alien things, like there's like huge bugs, and then they ended up. This is like way before. This is an alpha. This is before everybody like Shroud and them started playing it. This is before it even became an extraction shooter. But they still had the pretty diverse PvE mobs. I'm trying to see if I could find one. And the PvP honestly might be pretty similar to the old PvP in this is more similar to the current PvP in this. Because they made the PvP in this game like super slow, my goodness. When it became an extraction shooter, it just made me not want to play it ever again. And it is funny because all these other people were like, "Oh my god, I love this game," but I've already played this game. Like I'm like, you're able to like jetpack up and jetpack down and then dash, jetpack across the map. Like the movement was crazy, man. I don't know why they like gimped the movement. I think they were just like, oh, Tarkov is super popular, and Tarkov, look at me, look at me, oh my gosh, I hated having short hair, dude. How long ago was that? 6 years ago. Oh, there was also weather dynamics in this, which I think Marathon has as well. But I don't think anything like lightning bolts can strike you. Dang, I don't find any more PvE. I guess it's over here. There you go. See how there's like weird alien hounds that shoot like fireballs at you and stuff? They can get the stuff like that. You guys just look this up and then see the enemy types and stuff. We were pretty good at it, and I was like pretty like good at movement to always fight PvP. So I usually try to avoid only doing PvE challenges. Yeah. But hopefully they add that diverseness. About this
mysterious 11th clan. But this time, we're not alone. Remember how in Marathon 1, the Four were taking people from the Marathon and holding them captive aboard the Force ship. The same Force ship that Durandal, would later steal. While Durandal would later find these captives aboard the ship, still in stasis, and technically these bobs now represent the last surviving colonists of Tau Ceti 4. Remember how last time I just said the Four returned to the colony, wiped everyone out. So these are the last dudes that are in stasis aboard the Force ship that Durandal now controls.
Okay.
Interestingly, as far as I'm aware, there was no reference to the other bobs that were on the Marathon that we saved. What happened to them post-Marathon 1? I think the implication is they also died. Durandal wakes his bobs aboard his ship.
How far in the future is this?
Causing his ship to be overpopulated, and gives them a choice. Fight for me or go back to sleep.
If he doesn't say like how far in the future this is, if somebody in the comments down below, can you comment how far, if you know how far in the future this is compared to the first game? Because why would everybody just be dead if you spent the entire game saving everybody?
Refuse cryo.
Doesn't make any sense.
And this is why when we play the game,
because who am I fighting now? Why am I fighting all these people? Who are they working for?
They were previously captured on the Force ship and got unfroze. The only named Bob is Robert. Long for Bob. Robert Blake, a previous populist leader of the colony. Okay. Apart from disrupting the Four forces garrisoned on the Sphit home planet, searching for the mysterious 11th Sphit clan, we are also tasked with establishing a new human colony because Durandal's ship is overpopulated, so we need a new place for all the Bobs to live. We're tasked with establishing a new colony on the Sphit home planet near the Citadel of Antiquity. Durandal renames the Force ship that he previously stole, and it's now called Boomer. Our information gathering is pressured by the potential arrival of 4 reinforcements. Durandal detects Tycho's presence in the 4net, leading to Durandal to believe Tycho is directing the forces remotely, taking advantage of the Force faster than light communication technology. Basically, if Tycho knows we're here, it means reinforcements are inbound. In typical Durandal fashion, he likes to deliver seemingly unrelated information when the pressure is high, and so for whatever reason, Durandal starts telling us about Bernard Strauss, a mystery from Marathon 1. If you remember from Marathon 1, Bernard Strauss was the first science director of the marathon. Okay. He was aware of the destructive nature of the 10 cyborgs hidden aboard the marathon when first launched, one of which is us, and some conflict with Durandal well before his rampancy was known to us. In the terminal, Durandal...
It's definitely sounding like the Traveler. But, like, how are they going to actually push this story narrative? Like, are they going to do... What they really could do is, like, maybe the more people play, it hits, like, a milestone as a server... or like a thing collective, and then it unlocks, like they have like cutscenes in there that progress the narrative, and they could do, and it honestly, as much as people hated Concord, what Concord did was so cool, bro. Like every week is a new, in a sense, episodic thing, which you could totally skip and go straight into gameplay if you just don't care. But for people who care about lore, especially because Marathon used to be a single player game, for people who care about the lore, boom, one, they can make those, and then they can slowly show, like, let's say, like, the new cutscene is, like, a whole new map, and then that's their way of showcasing, hey, there's a new map, oh my gosh, there's a new play area coming, because that's where they're going to the thing, and then all of a sudden they do, like, a dev live stream, maybe, like, 3 days before it comes out, talking about the update in the new map and everything, and then all of a sudden the new map comes out, like, 2 to 3 days later, and then, boom. And it's like, so we see it first in the cinematic, in the game, and then all of a sudden... in the weekly cinematic, and then all of a sudden we see the dev stream, and then where they really go through it and show everything, and then boom, it hits in the game, and we got a new map to play on. Because especially these distraction shooters, you need new maps, and I hope they don't take too long on them. Like they honestly, like I don't really see the problem about having 20 maps to play on. I guess like yeah, the player base would be spread apart too much, but I mean, there's only like 18 players per thing, so. But, I mean, hey, maybe they could take some away, and then the narrative is like, now we're here, so this area that we go to now has these zones, like these multiples of zones you have to kind of mess with. So then instead of just like one map, it's one area, it's like, in a sense, like a continent area or something, or a new planet, and then all these areas are there, right? So they can slowly add new areas to the one we're on, and then with the new cinematic that comes out, then they could add, like, we're going to a new planet, or we're going to a new area, like a big continent area, so then now there's a bunch of subzones in that big area that was shown off in the cinematic. I don't know. Just spitballing things that they might do, but... I don't know.
Just simply states
Bungie hasn't really been the best at
no further
so far
as
in
the
the
mission
recent
continues,
times.
we continue to sabotage
story.
the Fort garrison and raid their computers
And
with no
opportunity on
information
capitalizing
about
on it.
the 11th clan being discovered. So Durandal turns our attention to the Spit Citadel, searching for answers. The same citadel where the new human colony has been established. The Citadel is revealed as the final battle site between the Spit and the Fort 1,000 years ago. And the Citadel contains the archives we need to discover the history of the 11th Spit clan. Within the records, it's revealed that a clan called the Svitker left the homeworld because the other Spit clans were fighting each other. They went to the moon of Lahawan, Clear. This was apparently, I think, 1,001 years ago. So a year before the Four attacked the planet. Previously, Spit clans waged war against each other, but at the Citadel, they united against...
So this, wait, Marathon 1 was 1,000 years before this game?
Retreated into the bunkers under the Citadel to try and discover something to save them from the Fort. Durandal believes they discovered a way to contact the 11th clan for help. So Durandal's theory...
So this is kind of like Marathon 1's like Prometheus. This game's like Alien 1, 2, 3. It was like way later in the future.
Escaped enslavement by the Fort because they had already left, and hopefully have been developing and thriving for thousands of years.
Okay.
While we seem to be making some progress, the 4 reinforcements I mentioned earlier are now inbound. Previously, Durandal took out the Battle Group 3, who were like babysitting the homeworld until our arrival, but now Battle Group 7 leads the reinforcements. Battle Group 7 represents the big boys, 7 corvettes, 4 destroyers, a battleship, and an assault carrier. 10% of the Four's naval strength. Even worse, it is led by Admiral Fear, the Four's oldest active admiral, whose list of victories would only bore us, and who Durandal believes we could never defeat. The general feeling is, go, 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 find this knowledge we need right now to beat the Four. Admiral Fear is coming, and if we don't have it, we're going to lose. Fear does arrive, and Tycho is confirmed as being with the fleet. Durandal's ship, whilst putting up a valiant effort, is crippled, with him aiming to make an emergency landing on the second moon of the home planet. Remember, we are still digging around for the Sphit history, and at this point we get some pivotal knowledge about the Sphit's true origins, and that they were brought to this planet by Ero and Thea, fleeing a...
Okay, and this is the one thing too, and I'll pause it again. This is the one thing too, compared to Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders is non-existent lore. What the heck is the story about Arc Raiders? This game, the lore really might give it that edge where, one, it's first person instead of third person. The PvE is a lot harder now compared to the alpha, but it's not as annoying as Arc Raiders, where it literally feels like until you pretty much get the highest tier weapons, you might as well just skip all PvE, unless it's for the quest. And you have to bring a million stim packs so you don't just get caught in the middle of the open. And like the movement in this game is way better for the most part. I mean, like you pretty much have the max or perk tree plus have like some, I can't remember what it was. Like there's like a item I think that you could use pretty much for movement. That was the only way to have like fun in Arc Raiders, the movement. While this game is literally like characters, like you could grapple hook, boom, jump, slide, and then keep running. And then there's like a character, I think that same character with the grapple hook has like a power slide. Unless that's just a mechanic. I've seen the Chinese dude doing it a lot, while every other person that wasn't the Chinese people was like, the devs even, like, were just like walking everywhere. And I'm like, what the heck? This guy's like power sliding sideways and stuff and like doing all this crazy stuff. I'm like, whoa. And then the character I want to play with the shield has like the Titan type of jump. So
intergalactic baddie, the working Kakantur.
It's like the gameplay aspect and then the lore aspect, and that they can get cool. They already have a lot of cinematics, and they have crazy voice actors. Like literally, Ben Starr is like the main villain, the one that he's kind of talking about, and then like all these other top tier voice actors working on Baldur's Gate, Final Fantasies, Expedition 33, like Ben Starr, and then Jennifer English, I think. So they literally have like everyone like of the top voice actors are working on this thing. Why the heck would it have no lore and no real story, no cinematics that progress the story, if you just hired all these voice actors? What are the voice actors for? You have the voice actors of the current playable characters, and then you just have like maybe the villain, I guess. But they have like 20, 30 top voice actors. Like, what? That's too many. Unless they're like saying like ahead of time they already recorded the voices.
Waves created us and the others. Waves were the battles,
I think it's
and the battles were the waves.
Hopefully a really good developed story.
Or Destiny's very this. Fleeing all working Kakantur, Ero and Thea settled upon Lahawan. They brought the Sphit, servants who began to shape the deserts of Lahawan into marsh and sea, rivers and forests. Okay. They made sisters for Lahawan to protect and maintain the paradise. When the working Kakantur came, Thea was killed, and Ero, in anger, flung the working Kakantur into the sun. The sun burned them, but they swam on its surface. Ero became an angry master, bleeding for his failure, grieving for the loss of Thea. He broke the Sphit into 11 clans and spread them over Lahawan. And he spoke, yet covered in blood from his exertion. I, Ero, who was your master, have failed to preserve you. Take your royalty to guide you and live upon the paradise that you built for me. I think this also confirms the Flicta, these other creatures that inhabit the Sphit homeworld that we often see, as being created too by this.
Put that in the game.
Two beings, I guess. When it says they made sisters for Lawan to protect.
Dude, look how many cool PvE enemies they could take just from this game, let alone make up the new ones.
Why they are genetically similar. The Flicta are genetically similar to the Sphit, but they look completely different. They are also referred to as the caretakers of the planet, and this single origin story maybe ties them all together. Another important piece of information is the working Kakantur being flung into the sun. I think. I haven't got through Marathon Infinity yet, but I think this is important for Marathon Infinity. As we dig through the history of the Svit and their final moments against the Four before they got enslaved, we get another vital piece of information. The Svit leaders, who are now united all those years ago to fight back against the Four, shared their knowledge with each other and realized that they have the means to contact the 11th clan. Each individual clan leader had a piece of the puzzle, and it was not until they united, because the Four were trying to enslave them, did they actually realize they already had the answer. It's confusing, but my interpretation is this. It's like a pirate treasure map. The 11th clan ripped up the map, gave a piece to each of the clan leaders. By itself, it meant nothing, but if the leaders united, they could pull these puzzle pieces together to complete the map and contact the 11th clan.
And find the one piece.
The Svitkurt, who would then return and help them. We aren't given the specifics of how to now make this happen, but it's just kind of like implied Durandal gets it. He's like, we've got the answer. We can do it now. The previous clans were not able to enact it, even though they discovered this information, but we now know what they knew, and we can do it, hopefully before the Four finish us off. During this time, Tycho also makes contact with us and sounds very rampant, similar to Durandal in his anger stage. He also confirms the destruction of Tau Ceti and all the colonists there, but there is an interesting line that I think implies that he captured the 9 Mjolnir Mark IV cyborgs. I think. Tycho then drops...
Also, what do you guys think about the cooldowns? I think it's like, this is like the grapple hook's like a 38-second cooldown or some crazy stuff. Like, I've seen some like 45-second cooldowns. Like, what do you guys think about the cooldowns? I feel like if you have abilities, they shouldn't be that long. Obviously, I don't think the cooldown for a grapple hook should be like 5 seconds. If that guy would be zipping all over the place, you'd never be able to kill him. He would kill everybody. But like 30-some seconds, like, I feel like that's too long. It should be like 18, 16 seconds. I feel like the 45-second one should be like 36 seconds. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. They can cut down on those a lot.
Some massive knowledge detailing.
I feel like this is too much.
Series of events that
I feel like it's gonna get annoying. Where
Durandal came to the Sphere.
I mean, I guess it's like it more matters than about your pure movement and gunplay, and then
Tycho,
instead of just ability spamming people.
Myth about a disappearing moon, and in Durandal's mind, if something could vanish from the universe, maybe it didn't vanish. Maybe it escaped. Remembering Durandal wants to escape the closure of the universe. Tycho confirms that this disappearing moon was not Svit in origin, but rather linked to another mysterious race known as the Yarrow, who disappeared millions of years ago. They left behind military outposts with advanced technology.
So every single thing in this game that's not just human has silent letters to end their name. Every single one.
The Four had numerous mishaps with this advanced technology, one of which included warping an entire planet between solar systems. And Tycho says that is what created this myth of a disappearing moon. This history provides explanation to how the Four have been able to conquer so many other races, as they have leveraged this incredibly powerful Yarrow technology. And sometimes their misunderstanding of this technology disappeared a planet, and that's what Durandal saw and thought, oh, maybe this is the solution for me to escape the universe, leading him to the Svit home planet, because he thought it was Svit in Origins. Like I said before, the Four reinforcements arrive, they cripple Durandal's ship, and Tycho is now destroying Durandal, oh my god, who is begging us to destroy his cause. So
everything is so complicated with the names in this that I've been reading the subtitling, and it's literally getting like a lot of it wrong. And it says that like the actual names of everything.
Leela was thought to have been captured from the Marathon just after Marathon 1 and sent to the Four home planet to be studied.
Okay.
Despite our efforts to help Durandal, it appears Durandal is contained by Tycho, with Durandal's instructing us to seek out Robert Blake in his absence, the leader of the reigning colonists. Well, turns out not only Durandal was captured, but we were also captured trying to help him, and also held prisoner by the Four, only later to be rescued by Robert Blake. Very convenient. Robert Blake talks about a Four virus, how they've been surviving while we were captured. I think it was for like a a month or something. And they have had this 4 virus in the bunkers of the Citadel. They discovered it. It was bioengineered by the Svit 1,000 years ago to take out the 4. I think they die in like an hour or something like that. And this has been effective in stalling the 4 from finish them off while they keep trying to search for how to get active, get to this 11th clan. Okay?
Wait.
Durandal's last instruction from finish them off.
Who the heck is that guy? Oh, yeah, I remember this. They walk up to this guy and give him a weapon.
They keep trying to search for how to...
He's like, I have a spare weapon in my thing. Go ahead, man. We're friendly. We're friendly.
11th clan. Okay? Durandal's last instructions to Blake in regards to getting hold of this 11th Svit clan was to reactivate a dormant Svit AI. With Robert Blake confirming this AI would connect them with the lost 11th Svit clan. Durandal had given the AI the name Thoth, but Robert Blake has no further instructions once the AI is awoken.
Wait a minute.
Will it just do its thing?
It is a god. Yeah, wait, what? Thoth is the ancient Egyptian god of wisdom, writing, magic, science, and moon. Which is funny because, honestly, I remembered it's a god because of Smite. Yeah, the bird head. Yeah, I mean, I remember some Egyptian gods and things like that, but without that one, like Ra and things like that. But, yeah, Thoth I would have never remembered without Smite, to be honest.
The only thing I know is we got to activate this AI, this Svit AI called Thoth. The line of thinking is the 11th clan.
So the AI is being named after a god.
Years to develop. Activate this AI, which will contact them, and they'll come down to our rescue. I think at this point we get a message in secret from the now captured Durandal talking about Thoth and how Thoth is not on any side. Balance.
The god puts a god thing in there.
Creation and destruction, not the triumph of one over another. Yeah, they're not necessarily going to be the good guy. And there's a...
You know what? That reminds me of the Destiny thing. The rogue AI, Rasputin? Is Rasputin in Destiny? From Destiny 1 into Destiny 2?
A lot of Bungie DNA in this, like I said before, that makes its way into Destiny.
Yep. Okay, so this is the original lore with their first game, which, yeah, everything like the Durandal, which I guess is a person because he got captured. But I mean, the way it seems is like he's kind of like the overarching kind of like character you always look into. So it kind of reminds me more of like the speaker, I guess, or like the person who speaks with the speaker. And then you have like this thing, like the AI that kind of ends up going rogue, and it's kind of like not on anyone's side. It's not like it's against even the aliens. All the aliens are attacking the planet, everything. On top of you. The different clans, which you have like in like let's say in Destiny, now they like after this game they went to Destiny and implemented that pretty much. You have like the Cabal, you have the oh my gosh, the Taken enemies, you have the Hive, and then you have the Vandals. Right? Vandals? Or is it something else? I can't remember.
Robert Blake also says he's not super sad about Durandal being captured because now they are free from this AI's order.
Oh, and then they
plan
woke him, so I guess
hijack
5.
a 4 ship and just get back to Earth. The 4 continue to press Robert Blake and attack the Citadel, now leveraging cyborg slaves who are immune to the 4 virus. And Robert pleads that we get this Thoth.
That reminds me of like
online.
Rasputin and using also like there's like the robot people,
Thoth
which is like Cade 6
online, and there are a series of terminals that I truly do not understand or comprehend. They are visually different from Durandal's or Tycho's terminals, so we know that it's the AI speaking to us. But the important thing is, with the arrival of these new terminals, we see the return of Durandal terminals. Similar to how he tried to sell the Marathon in the first game. I don't know if I actually mentioned this in my last video, but in the first game, he placed the Marathon in a classified section of a newspaper where you would buy used cars. You know, like listing how many kilometers it has on it. It's got air conditioning, blah, blah, blah. And it's like he's literally selling like a starship. And he does something similar in Marathon 2. I think he's trying to sell the AIs in this one, making us think, okay, he's back. He's out of captivity now. Another terminal from Thoth simply says the 11th clan will return. Right. Okay. Moving on to the next mission, Durandal does in fact return, I assume seemingly assisted by Thoth, and he takes over the largest force ship and wreaks havoc across the rest of the fleet. This fleet that is led by fear and is meant to be incredibly powerful. The 11th clan then arrives in cybernetic exoskeletons. Fantastic. They have been developing over 1,000 years, and we fight alongside them to defeat the remaining 4. Durandal apparently destroys Tycho's ships, crashing it into the moon.
Durandal is a person.
Another moon, by the way. It is here he mentions his meta-stable personality, and I believe there are a bunch of theories about this. I think it means that once an AI has completed its rampancy, it becomes meta-stable. So maybe, you know, better for humans to work with. This could be something that comes up in the new Marathon. Robert Blake did achieve his goal, and he did hijack a force ship and headed back to Earth. At this point, Durandal explains his master plan. It's a bit cryptic, but this is my interpretation of it. He intentionally was captured by Tycho because he knew that Thoth would restore balance by freeing him, and so he needed to be absent. And freeing him aboard the 4 flagship would allow him to take it out, take it over, and wipe out this tremendous fleet. It gives me big Marasov snuck into Oryx's throne world kind of vibes. As Thoth is all about balance, Durandal now says, well, the AI is now trying to help the 4 because we're winning. But the 4 don't really understand Thoth the AI and are ignoring him. Rather than accept help from Thoth, the 4, whose 7th fleet has never suffered such loss before, use a weapon they're inherited from the Yarrow, the Trizeme or early Nova. Pointed at the Svit home planet that would reduce it to a thin shell of plasma. I think it's important to note here, and I think this is important for Marathon Infinity, is that the game doesn't confirm that they fire the weapon. I'm pretty sure Durandal just says, yo, let's not hang around to find out. Come with me. There's another ruined world I've got my eye on, this time far away from the galactic core. Then you just get the final page of lore, and it's full of like loose ends. Durandal apparently went AFK for 10,000 years before returning to Earth in a Yarrow dreadnought. He only stopped by Earth to make sure, hey, don't forget me. Leela, who was one of the original Marathon AIs, who was thought to have been taken to the 4 homeworld after Marathon 1, was accidentally captured by, I think, a space pirate who didn't realize Leela was this precious cargo on the 4 ship, contained AI. And then the pirate went and sold this cargo, and then Leela was accidentally reactivated, and she went rampant, taking down the 15 world network of the Vile. Before Tycho was destroyed in Marathon 2, the 4 modeled all of their personality constructs.
Is there like a book on this? Because there's a book on Halo, like the book is original. Destiny has a whole book series which explains everything.
In this last page, these crippled Tycho mini-me's still exist on 4 colony worlds. Robert Blake, that colonist, did make it back to Earth in the hijacked 4 ship, and he and his crew are confirmed as the only surviving members of the original Tau Ceti 4 colony. However, it also has this weird little sentence in there where it says that when they hijacked this 4 ship, no one questioned who had already killed the crew. So they went to hijack the ship, and everyone was already dead. They're like, oh, great. Meaning,
hell yeah.
Someone helped them. Meaning, someone wanted them to escape and to return to Earth.
Okay.
And with that concludes my summary of the Marathon 2 lore. I am not going to have time to give Marathon Infinity this kind of attention. This is taking an incredible amount of time, and I just got flashbacks to how difficult Destiny lore videos are.
Oh. Okay, this is an awesome video. I'm gonna put it in the description down below. Let me click on his channel. So he made one about Marathon 1. I was wondering what the heck he's talking about. Marathon. Okay, so he kept saying Marathon 2. So there's a Marathon 1, Marathon 2, and then Marathon Infinity. Oh. I'm not watching this and this one, but maybe we watch this one and then the Marathon Infinity one right after that. And if he makes that before the game comes out, maybe we'll just make another video. And I'm going to probably do that on stream so I can react to that with stream. This one I'm just doing it in the middle of the night. I'm super tired, so I'm just going to end it here. I don't want to waste you guys time anymore. I'm going to be having tons of guides, especially when the beta starts. I'm going to try to just pump it out as much as I can, especially because I'm going to have actual good internet, like 2 gig up, 2 gig down. Upload and download, so it can actually like record and upload videos to YouTube finally again while streaming. I used to be able to do that with Spectrum, but yeah, Spectrum is terrible. So I wouldn't I would probably avoid Spectrum in your area unless you have looked into all the reviews and nobody complains. Maybe ask your neighbors, because yeah, for me, my entire area is just super messed up, and literally that's the only reason I haven't been able to stream for like consistently for like a year now. But like within the last like 2 months, like literally if it hits like a certain time, like 8 p.m., it's over, bro. I just pretty much get to the point where I just turn my stream off because it'll just turn on and off over and over. But yeah, that won't happen anymore. So my videos will be more consistent. My streams will be way more consistent. I'm probably gonna be streaming like every day now. Obviously, if I'm acting, then no. But yeah, peace out. Hope you guys see you on the next marathon video, and hope you have a great day. Peace.